Record and stream going.
Umpire ready.
Yeah. Well, in any event, we are back live again at the 2017 Canadian Junior Championships. Day 2, round 3, I suppose. This is the feature match today of Jake Masterson of Ontario versus Carter Watson of Saskatchewan. Based off of the standings right now, Carter Watson is 3-1, and Jake Masterson is also 3-1. So they are essentially tied for third place in their pool. So they're itching to make a move today and try and get top two. Top two for each pool advance to the semifinals. That'll be tomorrow. And next door to them is Michael Fraser of Ontario versus Ethan Hargreaves of Nova Scotia. So we'll do our best to keep you updated on their score as well. You'll probably be able to see them in the background there. Carter Watson has the yellow and I don't know if that's black speckled bowls.
Looks like black speckles, yes.
Jake Masterson has red bowls. And I believe that Jake Masterson is also from Peterborough, Ontario, while Carter is from Regina.
Well, Jake's running after this one.
He's chasing this bull down here.
Just got inside. Cut that ridge that really pulls it off.
Yep. Sure does. Carter is just through the head. He's got best back right now.
Looks like he's laying one. I believe Jake is second shot with his back bowl.
That's what it looks like.
About 2 feet behind, maybe 3. Be interesting to see if they can figure out this rink any better than some of the others that have played it.
In the background there, Carter's off talking to his coach, his older brother, Brandon Watson. Both of them will be competing in the Under-25 championships. That'll take place in a few days. Jake's last bowl at the end coming up. He's playing that ditch side. Tends to hang, but it's trying.
He's played it pretty well. He's just on top of that shot bowl, so it's definitely just one now.
And as always, if you have any questions or comments, reach out to us on Facebook or Twitter. On Facebook, we're Bulls Canada Bowling Grant at BCB Official, and on Twitter, at BCB Bowls. And you can reach Daryl on Twitter at Canadian Bowler. Carter's on the mat lining up his last bowl. I think he's playing the ditch side as well. And he'll just be looking to draw a second shot. And I think he's just sailing through.
He had made a little contact with that red bowl on the edge there. He might have been able to squeak out too, but both players definitely feeling out the green a little bit. As we've seen in previous games here, the ditch side is definitely hanging when you play it outside a little bit, and the inside line on the other side of that is drawing nicely, but can be tricky when you get a little outside or a little inside.
Big thank you to our partners and sponsors, the Government of Canada through Sport Canada, the Coaching Association of Canada, who helps us with all our coaching needs, Kukri, our official clothing supplier, MVP Sports, who is a big-time supporter of the junior program and has been for many years, lawnbowlingmanager.com, the one-stop shop for all your website and club management tools and needs. And a big thanks to sportscanada.tv for letting us rent the equipment off them to bring this broadcast to you. It's great that we can live stream events like this. Carter's elected to have a bit of a shorter end here. Looks like it's mid-length maybe.
Just coming up a couple feet short. Jake's playing the ditch hand again. Let's see if he can figure this out.
Yeah, hanging, but he's got decent weight. I've noticed from watching Carter this week that he likes to ask a lot of questions to the markers about how far away is his bowl, short or long.
Yeah, sometimes it gives a player just a sense of confidence that they know what's going on. They can make their adjustment if they need to.
Jake is still fighting that outside line there. Almost an identical bowl. And his weight's got to be within a foot, I would think. Carter's still electing to play his forehand, I believe. Just coming down, that's shot for sure.
Just found a good line on it.
And Jake is still sticking with his backhand. Coming up far short on this one, but that was a better line.
Definitely.
Another 6 feet on that and he would have had shot. I think it's great looking at the scoreboard that Jake Masterson's name tag is a red burgundy color and so are his bowls, so that matches nicely.
True Ontario bowls, eh?
Yep. Yeah. Next door, looks like Michael Fraser picked up a 3 to start the game. And Carter is just drawing around, that's probably 2. Definitely a look for a 3 there, maybe even a 4th. They're pretty far away, tough to tell from here, but I'm sure Jake will be looking to draw in on his last. Jake finally switched hands, and that would have been a great bowl if he would have got by Carter's short one.
Absolutely. We'll see if these players stay with that hand. I've had a little more success on that than the holding hand near the ditch.
Mm-hmm. That was definitely the key to the last game, I think. Jordan found that hand and just played it all day. Carter's taking out 1 for sure. Jake's kicking out another, that's 2. Carter likes 3, but Jake's gonna measure.
Alright.
Hi.
Behind us we have Jackie Foster, local Nova Scotian, checking out the action.
Sneaky.
If you have any questions for Jackie, let us know. We'll be sure to pass them on. Jackie, of course, is a member of our senior high performance squad. Freshly back from the Gold Coast in Australia a few months ago. that was a roll of the dice for Carter there. He got all of them. If the marker has it right, he's playing with it. Maybe not.
Let's see, we've got a really short jack here.
Just 3. Just 3. Marker got excited. Carter stopping to take a drink.
Might have been given time for Jake to decide if he wanted to get a measure for that that short jack, but
Yeah,
I guess they're going to play it.
Gave him plenty of time.
All right.
Heard an umpire call somewhere.
2 or 3 feet through the head for Carter on that first one.
They're calling for an umpire measure over on rink 8.
Jake still electing to play the ditch side.
That's interesting.
Still hanging wide and getting a few feet through.
He didn't switch to the non-ditch side until his last bowl last end, so we'll see if he still tries to use all of his bowls on the ditch side going this way. Carter has found a pretty good line there. That shot itself. Might be a bit of a guide for Jake now. You don't need to be outside of Carter's last bowl.
Put a little more inside than his last shot.
And he's
Just
taken
found
off the weight.
Great weight here, yeah.
And that could be shot. Carter's asking the marker, is that last bowl shot or no? Yeah.
Yep. Jake's up 1.
Jake has
ahead.
one. Carter switching hands to play the ditch side now.
It's an interesting choice.
That is an interesting choice. But his weight, if it's there, is probably shot.
Shot bull. Good bull.
Jake's asking, hey, am I down 1? And I don't think, yep. We are next door to a fire station and they're moving the fire trucks around, so fingers crossed they're not going anywhere to turn the sirens on. That could get pretty loud real quick. Oh, great effort, Jake.
Yep.
Carter still hanging on to 1, maybe 2.
Yeah, he's got a solid one just behind the jack now. He can add to that. There's not too much danger of it being dragged back in that 3 pile.
Mm-hmm.
The angle's just not the greatest on that. I think he's going to play away from that. If he drags the jack, it goes towards him rather than towards the red.
And the way it hangs on this side, I don't see it cutting across too much. So this is the safer bet. And he is just inside.
Yeah.
So that should be 2. Jake will come down and take a look. It feels strange to be talking about someone who has the same name as me, because I'm not going anywhere, but Jake Masterson is. Jake's a big Under Armour fan. His shoes and hat both supporting the Under Armour cause.
Time to get a new sponsor.
I say, speaking of that, MVP Sports, big supporter of the junior program. Head on over to mvpsports.ca. I think is their, I believe that's their website. If you're looking for anything bowls related, whether it's bowls, bags, shoes, lifters, ubi launchers, they've got you covered.
Measure for 2.
I think this should be a gimme for 2, I would think. Yeah, by maybe an inch.
Yep.
Makes it 6-0 for Carter. This could be a similar theme to the last couple games. Whoever quickly realizes that the non-ditch side is the better side to play just gets off to a good start. Looking around, we got Michael Fraser up 5-2 over Ethan Hargreaves. Oz Chambers is up 4-2 over Eric Gallipo. Trevor Burrell is up 2-1 over Xavier Stanier.
It's like Carter's electing to keep it as short as possible.
Caden Capstick and Liam Campbell are all tied up at 3, I believe. Ben Van Stein is up 13-zip over Nicholas Terrace.
Just coming up short on that first bowl.
Owen Kirby is up 3-1 over Mason Boyd.
Jake matching about the same distance as Carter, so that's 2 short bowls. Oh, got bug interference. Got to reset that delivery. Carter switching to the ditch side to try to get around these bowls. And he's made a good play on this one. Jack high, just about a foot or so wide of the jack. Jake sticking with the draw hand because his bowl is on that side already. And playing a really nice bowl underneath there.
That could be shot. Carter's going to step off and talk to Brandon, ask for some advice.
I know my advice to him would be to stay away from the side that hangs. Play underneath that red bull just like Jake just did. Red is probably already shot. You can catch an edge, get onto the jack, push him out, sit on top of him. There's a lot of good options on that side, and that's exactly what he's going to do here.
He's playing his forehand. I think he's a little too quick.
Yep.
Just sailing through the head.
Just got around that line. If he had just got under that red one, probably would have made some contact. Comes Jake's.
Jake's also electing to go with
Yeah.
the non-ditch side.
It's not a bad bowl there, just in case Carter does decide to play a little weight again down through that spot.
It looks like there might be maybe a couple feet for him to draw if he wanted to just draw a shot without moving anything or touching anything.
Yep. A little movement of the jack could get him 2.
Yeah, a little touch would be good for 2. I think he's taking his weight off. And that should come in nicely for 1, I think.
Go stop.
Close. No, Jake still holds 1.
Just trying to draw in here for 2.
Just has to follow Carter's line exactly and just rest on that last bowl. And it's just wide.
Just through.
Great effort. So Jake is finally on the board with 1, I believe. And anybody who's actually listening, viewing, and has access to a computer or has a really good memory, who's the last junior to win back-to-back titles before Braden Campbell? Braden's looking for the three-peat this year, but before him, who was the last junior to win 2 in a row? Bonus points if you can guess male and female to do that. Let us know on Facebook or Twitter. Bowls Canada Bowling Grant at BCB Bowls.
Alright. Jay collecting to make it a little longer, still mid to short bowl jack on that.
Still keeping the mat back there though, not bringing the mat up much. And his first bowl, he's going with the ditch side.
And played it pretty well.
I think he found that line.
Just a couple feet short.
I think Carter's a little wide, a little quick. A couple feet through.
Jake just asking how far in front his last bowl was to the jack, so he can try to make an adjustment. Just made a great adjustment on the weight. Just got a little outside and it hung all the way down.
John Seitman has said last female to win back-to-back was Priscilla, and he says the last male is me, but good guess, but I didn't win them back-to-back when I won two of them. One was in 08, one was in 2010 for me. I missed out on 2009 in Saskatchewan. I didn't get out of Ontario back when each province could only send two.
Oh, Carter just catching the edge of Jake's there, pushing it in even closer. Jake quick on the mat, throwing it down.
Looking at the front gate, I see two cameramen coming in, and I'm not sure if they're from the same company or not, but it's great to see more media coverage.
Carter playing the ditch side. See if he can make a shot out of this.
I think he's crashing on Jake.
Yeah, it's a tough side to play when you're trying to get around something. So
it is. Tricky lines. Jake will just be looking to draw a third one in. I think he's a little wide on that.
May squeak in there. I don't know.
Carter again talking to Brandon, trying to figure things out.
Just wants to cut it down to one if he can. I think he's discussing that the ditch side actually does hang, so he doesn't know if he can adjust to miss that red bull and not push another shot in.
Another option might be to not play a whole lot of weight, but a little bit of weight and come across to the underneath to the red one there. That shot.
It's a possibility.
If you feel so inclined to play that ditch side.
I think here Carter's just looking to draw one up, cut it down to one at best, move on.
John Seitman's quick to answer these questions. He guessed Priscilla, and on his second guess, first he said me, which was wrong, but then he said it'd have to be John Patchouli then, which you are correct. Priscilla Westlake won in 2013-2014, and then John won in 05 and 06. The last two before Braden to win back-to-back under 18 championships. Which is no easy feat because you have the bullseye on your back. Everybody's looking to get the defending champ. It's just holding up.
Yeah. That side just doesn't want to break when you want it to, so.
Needed another 2 feet or so. 1, 2. Looking for more.
Measuring for the third.
Don't forget to share the link with your friends, family, colleagues, anybody you can think of to catch this streaming action. It's sportscanada.tv/Bulls Canada. And as always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, reach out to us on Facebook and Twitter, at BCB Official on Facebook and at BCB Bowls on Twitter. And you can reach Daryl on Twitter at Canadian Bowler. I don't know if that was a 2 or a 3 for Jake there.
We'll see when they update the score here.
Looking down at the entrance there, it looks like Jordan Koss is getting an interview. I'm not sure who the media person is, but he's got looks sort of like a GoPro almost. There's just 2 for Jake that last time there.
Right.
Makes it 6-3.
Right.
Next door, Michael Fraser's up 7-4 over Ethan Hargreaves. On the rink beside that, Braden Campbell's up 8-1 over Evan Hargreaves. Moving on down the line, Oz Chambers is up 5-4 over Eric Gallipo. Liam Campbell's up 6-4 over Caden Capstick. Trevor Burrell and Xavier Stanier are tied at 3. And Owen Kirby's up 7-1 over Mason Boyd. That's all the scoreboards I can see right now.
Jake with a good opener and a little short on the second. Carter looking to pull back a little weight on his first to tighten up that head a bit.
We have Mr. Keith Johnson is watching the stream, and he said John Patulli won back-to-back juniors in 05 and 06. Correctamundo. Keith is the scoring guru. Trying to think of a better word for that, but he's the one who makes the scoring app for our website, and great guy to work with. So for whatever reason scoring app's not working, I'll be sure to just forward all the complaints on to him. No, it works very, very well. It's easy to use. I believe Keith is playing at the majors this year, so if you're at the majors in Victoria, go talk to all the Alberta players till you find Keith and say hi.
Carter just losing his weight these last couple ends, making it difficult on himself, but
Jake squeaks by
Jake
for
is
2.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a beautiful draw.
Great bowl there.
Oh, and the flop backwards, that's going to be tough. That's going to be tough. Do you think he'll play some weight through the port?
I'll say he won't be short. But the idea here would, again, you might want to try to cut down your losses. That hanging hand I don't think will come around that front red bowl to actually do anything, so it looks like he's going to play...
he's playing his forehand.
Yeah, play the outside.
Just nice overdraw weight from the looks of things.
Just got to be to the head. Cut it down a bit. Just through, yeah.
So that's another 2 for Jake.
That's what it looks like.
Makes this game a little more interesting then.
Yeah. Makes it a couple loose ends from Carter there, just losing his weight. His line wasn't too bad. And Jake's starting to find his weight, so that's how momentum goes in bowls. Sometimes you start off grabbing a bunch, and then you drop a bunch. You just want to try to hold that momentum as long as possible over your opponent. So we'll see what these next couple ends bring for these players. neither of these players have decided to play long yet. They're still medium to short. Right now, Carter's still holding on to a 1-point lead, 6-5 over Jake here. Jake's gone back to the ditch side, and he's played it fairly well the last couple times. You just got to get that right line and wait. He's nailed it this time.
That's a great question from Keith on Twitter here. He's asking, are Carter and Jake playing with narrow bowls, or is the rink just not swing much? Well, on the dish side, which is, you can just see it on the right-hand side there, that side tends to hang quite a bit, and there's not a whole lot of draw unless you get inside, in which case it takes off. But on the other hand, the non-ditch side, there's a decent draw, but again, if you get inside, it takes off as well. So it's a fine line for a draw. I wouldn't say that they're playing with overly wide drawing bowls, but there's definitely a draw on the non-ditch side.
Definitely takes a combination of good weight and good line to work the heads on this green. Can't quite get away with one or the other. You kind of need both. Mm-hmm. And right now Jake's nailing both on that ditch side, so he's just going to keep with it.
Play that all day. Once you find it, just go to town.
And that's it. There's 3 great bowls on that side.
Consistent. Carter wants to know if he can come down, but there's a gentleman mowing the lawn across the way, and so it's making a lot of background noise, so the marker couldn't hear him, so he had to shout 3 times, hey, can I come down and take a look? With the official rule being that you can't come down to the head until you've thrown 3, you have to ask the marker if you can come down and take a look anytime before you've thrown 3 bowls. 9 times out of 10 they usually say yes, but it's a good way to ensure the game speeds up when you're not coming down after every single bowl. Carter's quick to go ask Brandon what to do.
You got a choice of trying to stick with the quote-unquote draw side. He's thrown 2 wide bowls on that side, or do you play the side that hangs and hopefully push onto some of Jake's bowls, because it's not going to draw around there. You're more likely to catch an edge on one of those bowls to flop in, or just push on top and hope to stay around. So
personally,
a couple options.
If it were me, I think I would probably play 6 to 10 feet through the head and try to catch one of those red bowls and sit.
Yep. It's definitely the option.
It's a pretty wide target, and if you're not playing too aggressive.
Playing the outside hand.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Well, if he's confident in his draw, it's still very drawable. He's back to the tee. I wonder if he was trying to come inside and catch a red bull or grab the jack.
Yeah.
Jake switched hands, funnily enough.
It's an interesting choice. He's played 3 pretty decent bulls there, and he's really wide.
Quite wide. Maybe a foot or 2 past the jack, weight-wise. Carter's going to come down and take a look again, reassess. Being so close to the cameras and the mics, I wonder if they can hear us chatting about what to do.
Sitting here in the booth, you never miss a shot, right? So it's great. What a lot of people have to realize is when you're spectating, and even if you're a player, sometimes you get caught up in the fact that you can see a lot of different shots here. But when you're actually on the green, the choices sometimes get muddled up in what you're dealing with your line, with your bowl, how you're delivering, all that kind of fun stuff. And it takes a lot of focus to make those shots. So
That's very true. Some of the shots that we see might not be too obvious. Carter's
Lands
throwing
on
weight.
Heads up.
Ooh,
Just missed.
Just missed the jack.
But he had a lot of options with that. He could have split out all three of those.
Mm-hmm.
Caught it right. Jack to the back. Scores him 3. If he gets it clean.
It's unfortunate that he didn't get anything on that and has probably given up 3, but I like the aggressive nature of that. It's still relatively early in the game. He can afford to give up 3.
It was a confident choice. He definitely knew what he was doing, and
I'm sure Jake is pleased with that result to take the lead.
yeah, anytime you can grab a 3 in a singles match, that's a huge bonus.
Mm-hmm. Funnily enough, if you're looking for a perfect end pin at Bowls Canada, we actually give out perfect end pins if you get a 4 in singles.
Really?
Yeah, I know. I've had a few folks from Ontario asking because Ontario has their own perfect end pin, but they don't do it for singles. So they come to us, and yeah, we do. You just got to send us your form, your scorecard, your check, and we'll ship it out to you. I think it's $5, and we'll mail one to you with a congratulatory letter saying, "Good job on getting a perfect end."
Well, I've never received one, so that tells you how I do in singles, I guess.
Good weight there from Jake. He switched hands again, though. After playing 3 great bowls on the ditch side going the other way, he's now back to the non-ditch side.
Yeah, some players, it just depends on the way they're going each end. You can see a lot of switching here and there.
And Carter with a great draw there.
There you go.
That's number 1.
That's kind of what Carter's been lacking his last couple ends, is just getting that first one or first out of the first 2 bowls close.
Mm-hmm.
Give himself a little breathing room, a little
room to play around with things. It makes things a lot easier if after your 2 bowls you've got at least one that's close. You're not worried about giving up a 3 or a 4. Carter is trying to draw another one.
It's not far off.
Not too far off.
Just a little wide.
It's pretty good weight. He's only holding 1 according to the marker. And Jake is back to the ditch side.
Just hanging a bit wide.
Very consistent bowling.
Mm-hmm.
Braden Campbell's throwing some heat and missed it on rank 3 there.
Yeah, you might have heard it. Hit the backboard. Looks like Carter didn't like this one too much. He's kind of trying to coax it on, but not going to make it.
It's probably 10 feet short.
Jake taking a look.
It looks like such an easy shot to play to just draw in, but
Braden with another rip.
crashed on his front.
Yeah. Looks like he's only down 1.
Came across into rink 2.
Nobody's paying attention. That's okay. There's orange bowls on that green too, so maybe they're shot. Who knows?
Yeah, just blend right in.
Here comes Jake. Coming down the ditch side. See if he can make the adjustment just to slide inside of Carter's bowl. It's going to hang a bit wide and deep. So Carter's opportunity to try to pump another one in there. Get back to even.
If you think of any questions after we're done streaming that you want to ask us, feel free to send us an email as well. Right now, Sarah Moss, our communications coordinator, is in the office. manning the phones and checking the emails, so if you have any questions or concerns, send an email to office@bowlscanada.com. We'll do our best to get back to you in a timely manner.
I'll say it's really nice to see brothers working together.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting to see how much they've grown over the years. Last time I guess I played in this in 2014 in Etobicoke, and I played with Carter in the Forsterlang pairs, and he was probably half his height. Both of them were still, I think, relatively new to bowls at the time, so it's nice to see them now grown up. I think they've both been to the majors since then. Played triples with Keith Roney 1 year.
I played against them. That is correct.
They've got some experience under their belts.
They do.
That's more than I can say. I've never actually played in the majors. Quick to agree to 1 for Carter.
Alright, let's see how Carter can set a preferred length for himself. Work to his strengths. It's one of the keys to playing singles and playing lead is jack control. It's so important in a game. A lot of people don't realize that setting it short, medium, long, moving the mat up and being able to nail that jack is a great strategic advantage to any player if you can do it right.
If you can do it right, being the key. Practice makes perfect is a popular motto, but perfect practice makes perfect is a better motto, I think.
Mm-hmm.
If your club doesn't have a website or doesn't have a database or any sort of online management tool, I'd strongly recommend going to lawnbowlingmanager.com, where you can request a trial or a demo from Bona Lee. She's eager to help clubs get active, have a good website, have a good database of membership, mailing list. Website can also have league night standings, tournament pages, info pages, sponsor banners at the bottom. It's quite the neat little tool that's sort of just built for lawn bowling clubs. It's definitely worth checking out if you don't have a very good website or a very good club management system in place. Head on over to lawnbowlingmanager.com.
Carter with a great opening bowl, matching his jack, just probably a foot wide, and Jake coming in with was looking like a great bowl and just ended up about a foot and a half short. So we'll see here. Carter switching hands, trying to draw another one in. Oh, great bowl there. Trail and the sit, and the bowls are lined up nicely.
Beauty.
Can't ask much more from the first 2 bowls there.
It's going to make it really tough with this ditch hand hanging. That's going to make it really tough to get to.
Jake just wanting to edge up, give himself some options, just a little wide.
Carter's going to be looking to draw just inside Jake's, I think, for a third. Nicely away. It's got a chance if it comes down, but I think it might
Just hanging.
hang.
Yep.
Maybe a foot or 2 short. As you can see, once you get inside, that just really takes off.
Yeah, this rink is definitely testing the focus and the determination of the players. Whether you stick with the hand and try to master it, you switch hands and try to refine your length in your game, what shots to play. You have to be pretty precise because both sides have their quirks. They're not playing perfectly true, coming in from all angles, but
it's one thing that you need to learn to do as a player is to just stay focused and just grit your teeth and keep going. Not get too upset with the green or the bowl or anything else. You just have to stay calm and roll on.
Carter just coming up short here. One thing you don't want to do when you're holding a really nice head like that is give your opponent a wing ball, where they can play just a little up weight, catch the edge of your bowl, and shoot into the head, giving them another angle where it's probably a lot more difficult just to draw it cold. So we'll see if Carter's short outside bowl will come into play at all, but depends on what Jake's looking for here.
And it looks like he is playing just a little bit more weight.
We almost caught that.
Almost got the edge of that.
Yeah. Alright, so it stays with Carter's first two bowls.
As a coach, I'm sure you've seen more drills than I have, but when scounging the internet, I've seen more drills than I can count that encourage back bowls rather than short bowls, where you'll get more points for having a back bowl and you lose points for having a short bowl, or some variation of that, where the object of the drill is to sort of encourage you to be to the head rather than coming up short.
Well, you always want to give your bowl an opportunity to make the shot. So coming up short, you obviously haven't given the opportunity. Being a little bit through, at least you're allowing it to do something for you, hopefully positive. Sometimes it's negative, you never know, but that's why you'll hear from a lot of players that guards are the hardest shot to play in the game. Against a skilled bowler, it's hard to guard them. You can put it in what you think is a perfect spot, but a good bowler will either up the weight or drop the weight a little bit to either swing around it or under it, or straighten their bowl out with a little extra speed to make the shot. So it's probably better to cover a spot, so if they do actually make your shot, you have it covered.
Yeah, I would say it's better to maybe change an angle or change the look of the head or something rather than to throw a guard, but that's just my personal opinion.
Guards can come in handy sometimes. If you get in the guy's head, even if it's not necessarily the greatest guard bowl that you've thrown, sometimes it gets in his eye, gets in his head, and he either throws wider or narrower than the shot that he needs to play, just thinking about that bowl. So sometimes they're useful, but against a mentally strong and capable player, those bowls shouldn't come in the way.
For any viewers who aren't too familiar with bowls, it's strategically very different from curling. In curling, quite often you'll see your lead or second throw guards, and in bowls, if your lead or second is throwing guards, you should probably take them aside and tell them not to do that. I don't think under any circumstance would you want your lead or second throwing guards. It's one of the key differences between bowls and curling, is since the jack can move, then the whole head and how you get there can change drastically. So if your lead or second is throwing guards, as soon as the jack moves, that guard suddenly becomes a little less useful.
We're getting some strong winds here.
Where was this yesterday?
I know, the breeze is really nice. Probably nice for these players out there as well.
Jake's chasing and urging it on, but I don't think it's there.
No.
Just a couple of feet short.
Worth a look though. So.
Carter's asking if it's in the count. Just one. Carter's going to come down and take a look anyway. If you're in the area, in Nova Scotia at all, or anywhere nearby, come on down to the Dartmouth Lawn Bowling Club. We're going to be here all week, and you can catch some excellent bowling from the juniors and under 25s. Weather is great for it as well, so you got no excuses if you're anywhere near. Carter's return from the head, but he didn't talk to Brandon about it, so he's got his mind made up. I think he's just playing a draw on his forehand again.
Yeah.
Might be looking to kiss off.
Oh,
that'll do it.
A little sneaky.
That'll do it. Jake's now taking a look to see what the situation is. I think he has second, and he was looking to see if he has third as well. I don't think so, though.
Let's see what side he plays. He comes down on the ditch side to rest the yellow, or possibly trail that jack back to the red, or if he plays the other side just to draw in another.
It's tough to tell. He tends to play the ditch side going the other way. Coming this way, he plays the forehand.
That's absolutely right.
And that's what he's doing, playing the forehand. I think he's looking for the jack or bowl.
Pretty close.
He's very close.
Very close.
Just through.
Just sliding through. Great shot.
Great effort. So that'll be another one for Carter.
We got a drive coming down to one of the greens there. Unfortunately missed everything. So that happens with drives sometimes.
Mm-hmm. You either make it or you don't.
7 other bowls on the green and you miss every single one of them.
Big thanks to all the volunteers here today. For singles, there are a lot of markers who are volunteering their time and efforts. Big thanks to all of them, and of course the umpires and the host organizing committee. Takes a lot of hard work to pull off a national championship, and it is greatly appreciated.
Yeah, the Dartmouth Lawn Bowls Club has been really gracious to all the players and all the volunteers and spectators, and even ourselves.
Yeah,
it's nice.
There's some very unique lunches going on here. I quite like that. A little bit of variety.
Yeah, it's really nice. Started with a great opening bowl here, just about a foot short.
On a hand that hangs, that almost takes away that hand altogether.
It's interesting how that happens, right?
Because it's going to be tough to draw around that when there's not much of a finish.
No.
And I think the first game is done. I believe Owen Kirby just beat Mason Boyd.
18-1, it looks like.
That's what it looks like. Apologies for the wind. Hopefully you can still hear us. Carter is through the head.
I think he was just looking for a little push on his own.
Just try to push that in a little closer.
Yeah.
Jake is back to the ditch side. And I guess he will be looking to draw around that shot bowl of Carter's.
Just hanging out a little bit. Great weight.
Great weight. But that's going to be a tough shot to draw off on that hand.
Yeah, Carter sticking with that hand. Even if he comes on top of his own, it's good. Slides by it, it's good.
If he finds Jake and flops in for 2, which he will.
Yeah.
Oh. It's another option now. Jake's asking who is shot, because that might decide his shot here.
Kind of looks like the back pole is, but
Okay.
yeah, it looks like the back pole there.
Well, that gives Jake an option now. He just has to rest that ball for 1. Will it hold up around
He's
Carter's?
close. He's
Will it
very
hold
close.
up around?
Very close.
That'll
Terrific
do.
shot.
That'll do. Tricky shot, but well played. Do you think Carter will be looking to push that through, or just...
Yeah, I think he'll stay with the same hand. If he can push that red through, even play a shot like Jake just did, catch that edge of that, and just roll through.
For 2?
Even pushing his own up if he's low and narrow is fine too. So I think he's got a lot of good options on that team. Yeah.
And he will do just that. But it's going to hang out and go around the whole thing.
Yeah. That's the danger with that side.
Mm-hmm.
You get a little out, it's going to stay out. So.
Very finicky.
Good word for it.
Looking around at another rink here after Jake's bowl hangs out there. Braden Campbell versus Evan Hargreaves. I think Evan just took another one. It's 14-9 right now for Braden. Likely going to be 14-10, but Evan's putting up a good fight. When I looked over there earlier, I think it was 14-6. Going to measure.
It's a battle of 2 heights over there. Braden's, I think, one of the tallest competitors here right now, and
yeah, I would assume he's
playing against one of the shortest. So it's always an interesting dynamic to see at a junior championship. You do see height differences.
Mm-hmm. Almost a David versus Goliath type thing.
That's right.
Currently 10-9 for Carter in our feature match. Next door, Michael Fraser is down 11-8 against Ethan Hargreaves.
Jake just coming up a little short there. Carter's just looking to draw inside that and onto the jack.
Where Jake's bowl ended up, that could almost be bothersome, trying to draw in, but
I think Carter's found something here.
Carter's found the inside line.
Beautiful
Great bowl.
Great opener bowl.
As much as I love putting a bowl close, sometimes I don't, just because it looks like a target too. Gives them something to rest on.
Some players it is.
Looks a little juicier.
There are definitely some players that are better resting on things than drawing it cold themselves. So, yeah, when you give them a target, they're just licking their lips saying, "Thank God."
Carter's playing again. I think he might be looking to maybe bury the jack behind his first.
Yep, just playing a little deep. It's not a bad spot.
A little wide. don't think Jake likes that. A little wide and quick.
I think we've got Priscilla Westlake lurking behind us again. If you have any questions for Priscilla, just let us know. Carter just coming up a little light on this one.
That line is getting tighter and tighter now to get to the jack. Just outside the seam. Should be a good line. If he's there.
Great ball.
If he gets the flop.
Oh, fell the wrong way. That's a heartbreaker.
Looks like Carter's still lying 1. And he has last bowl. I'll just need to follow Jake down and either push him through or just come inside.
You guys want any calamari? Okay, I tried. I had calamari and chips and I ate all the chips and I'm full.
It's gross.
What?
It's gross.
You think squid's gross? Okay.
If anyone in the area wants some calamari, come on down. Priscilla's auctioning it off to the highest bidder. Starting bid is $10.
All proceeds go to BCB. Carter just looking to draw here. It's not much danger. Even if he trails that jack back a bit, it's all good for him. Here's an excellent ball right there. What a shot.
Beauty ball.
Well, Carter.
Picks up 2.
It's just that easy, folks.
It is just that easy. Haven't seen them play around with the mat much. But I think they're both very happy with it back close to the tee. Maybe up a pace or 2, but that's about it. It's interesting. I know whenever I play, I never like to have it at the tee. I always like to have it up and move it around a bit.
Yeah. I haven't seen too many drag it way up. I mean, closer to
Not very often.
to the minimum.
A couple years ago when I played in the outdoor singles, I was in the bronze medal match against Pat Bird, and we both just brought it up to the hog line every single time. After the second end, we both agreed it was easier to just pick the mat up and just use one mat rather than both, because it's quicker to go from hog line 1 to hog line 2 than all the way back to the ditch to get the mat and then back up again.
That's the one interesting thing. Moving the mat isn't necessarily just a strategic thing, just to throw your player off or whatever. If you drag the mat up and still throw the jack the same distance, I mean, it technically is the same distance. Whether you put it at the tee and throw the jack to one spot, or you bring the mat up and throw the jack just a little further. But you can also find different draw lines on different greens. So if something's not working, if you're struggling to find the line, you can move that mat up and potentially find a new line that works for your bowls and really change that game around.
Can also be a great strategy against someone who's struggling to find their weight, because if the jack's at the tee and they're more than 6 feet heavy, then they're in the ditch and that bowl's out of play. Whereas if the jack's at the hog line, then 6 feet through, they're still alive and plenty of things can happen.
That's absolutely right.
Carter looks like he's coming alive here now. That's 2 very good bowls.
Nailed that line pretty well. And wait.
Wonder what Jake's thinking with this. He's still sticking to the ditch side. And I think he's just playing a little through, not much. And to rest a bowl maybe.
Ooh, just cut the inside of that. I think Carter might want to change the look of his head a little bit, so it's not such a big target. We'll see.
I wouldn't like the look of that head, although if Jake keeps playing the ditch side, I wouldn't be as concerned. I think he's coming up short with this.
Yeah, that's right along that seam. Didn't want to cross over.
That could make things worrisome for his fourth bull, though. As he's been playing that.
Doubt Jake's going to be short with this one.
No, he will not.
Definitely not. He's just inside. So now the choice is for Carter. Do you just try to draw around to the back? Do you try to look change the head a little bit? Maybe push your bull through a little bit, move the jack behind.
I think I'd be looking to push one of my bulls through, so that way you get a back bull and you still get two. Not overly aggressive, just a foot or two through. The way Jake's bull is lined up right now, he only needs to push one of his bulls through, I think maybe a foot or two, and he's got the second furthest back.
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
I don't think he's short on that one.
Nope.
I think he's into the head. Just building up a bigger head. 3 good bulls.
Yep. Let's see what Jake does here.
Not an overly big target.
Makes it a lot harder to get at it from the ditch side, unless you play right smack right through the middle. But there's still the opportunity on the outside to come in and possibly sweep through the head.
I would have to think that looks really good from the mat on the non-ditch side.
Yeah.
Throw some weight into that, or even just a couple feet through. Bound to get something.
Yep. Jake taking a second to talk to his coach, see what the options are.
Talking to his grandfather, Ivo.
Yeah.
If anybody from Peterborough area is watching. Peterborough is hosting the Canadian Senior Triples Championships from August 24th to 30th. So if you're in the Peterborough area, head on down.
This 3 count for Carter could really make a difference in the game. Start pulling away from Jake here, but Jake can make this. It really tightens up the game. He's playing a little weight.
Playing weight, but on the ditch side. And wow.
Got 2.
Impressive.
Good shot there.
Cuts
Lots
Carter
of
down a
options, I guess. Yeah.
So that should make it 13-9 now, if my counting is any good.
It's good for Jake. He kept it to a 1 count. Could have been a 3, which is hurtful in a singles game.
Mm-hmm. Especially when it's only to 18 points. That's a sixth of the game. Galapos comes storming back against Aussie Chambers. He's up 15-9 now. Aussie had held the lead for a good portion of that game. It's an interesting call. We got a jack measure on ring 2 to see if the jack's legal. From here, it doesn't look like the mat is up very much, and the jack is well past the hog line, so that's... We'll see how good my eyes are.
Carter maintaining his good shots.
Great opening first ball there.
Yep.
And Jake is sticking with the ditch side.
No, good opener there from Jake.
Yeah.
Just about a foot wide.
Weights in the neighborhood. Carter's looking to draw another, but I don't think he's there.
Just short.
Umpire's having a tough time trying to find the the number on the measure.
Pretty sure they did it the other way, but I may be wrong.
Yeah, normally you do it the other way, but ooh, Jake just through. Yeah, that is plenty good.
Yeah.
Probably more than 6 feet to spare on rink 2. So as it stands right now, Carter just needs 5 points to finish the game, while Jake needs to double his score.
It's coming up short again.
And right now Carter's only holding 1. Jake's looking to change that, whether get the bull or the jack, I would think. On rank 3, we might be having another jack call. We do. We have another jack call on rank 3. The umpire's just about finished winding things up, and now they're going to have to undo it all again.
Oh, they're doing it the other way, though.
So Jake is again sticking with the ditch side, which makes sense based on how that head is looking down there. But he is far wide on that. Great weight. It's tricky on this green because you miss your line by an inch or so and it looks like you're 6 feet wide. You don't miss your line by much, but it looks terrible.
Yeah, no, it's just hanging out there. We know from experience, because we've seen it all day, that players playing that side have had a tough time just trying to get it to draw in. You have to be pretty precise. There's a small window for the nice draw. Carter's asking Brandon for some advice on what to do. Has Braden been wearing a knee brace all week? Yes, he has.
Has he? I didn't notice. I noticed Eric Gallipo has one.
Yep. Sometimes it's other sports injuries.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these juniors play other sports at school and other. Sometimes it's just preventative. You know, you've had a little something happen and you just want to make sure that it never happens again. So better safe than sorry.
Based on your delivery, doing lunges all day.
Yeah. The knees on the back can take a toll.
Mm-hmm. So Carter is on to his backhand here. And I think he's just looking to draw another. He's just coming up a little short. Needs another few feet.
Sometimes when you're being a little careful not to push that jack and whatnot, you do come up with short. So you're thinking too much about not pushing it than actually making the shot. So. Looks like he's playing a little weight. Might be hoping to come in on that shot ball and
Got her, but that's an unfortunate result.
Just squeeze it the wrong way.
That made things 3 times worse, I think. That's a 3, maybe even 4 for Carter now.
Yeah. You wanted that ball out, or to go have the jack go straight back. Instead, it went directly right.
That's a very unfortunate break for Jake. Yeah, as you called it with other sports, John Seitman's letting me know that Braden Campbell plays basketball during the winter, so he's been wearing the brace for a while.
And despite popular belief, lawn bowlers are athletes. We do. It does take quite a bit to actually play this game.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not throwing each other over fences and body checking each other on the green, but it does take a toll on your lower body for sure. You need your fitness to play these long, hot days. Looks like it was a 3 for Carter there.
Yeah. Makes it 16-9. He's just looking for a couple to close the deal. Jake's looking for 9. Which, as weird as it sounds, that could be 1 end for Carter or potentially 3 ends for Jake.
That's right.
It's the third jack measure call for an umpire in the past 5 minutes, I think. We're out on rink 5 now.
Maybe everybody's just now trying to.
Yeah, everybody's calling for it.
Play short ball. I haven't seen many play T to T yet, so.
No. I know for me, that's definitely something I need to practice a lot more, would be playing T to T. I love playing short ends. It's the long ends that need more practice for me. Carter's about 2 feet short and a couple feet wide. Jake is following him down. Better line.
Just sliding through.
That shot.
Definitely.
Carter's just outside. Jake's looking to just repeat on his last, draw a second shot, but I don't think he's there.
Not quite.
4 or 5 feet short.
That could be in Carter's eye. Let's see if he continues.
Yep, he's still sticking to that forehand. Well, he's well inside, but once you get inside, it goes.
Yeah, it definitely takes off on you.
Keith Johnson just sent me a text saying now he knows which length of jack to play against me if we ever play. Our celebrity commentator here, Keith, is Daryl Fitzgerald, coach of the youth and development squads.
It's a long title.
Development and youth development squads?
Yeah. Yeah, so I'll have the privilege of helping coach a number of these players. The ones that are in the top of the standings at the end of this event and the under 25s. As well as those selected to the development squad, which is a great honor, because you know that these kids really want the information, want to get better year to year. So so far it's been a a great experience for me, and I'm just looking to continue that with all of these guys. Carter with a not bad bowl, but just through.
Just through is right. Yeah, and if you have any questions for Daryl, I think your email is dfitzgerald@bullscanada.com.
That's right.
Probably quicker to reach him on Twitter though, at Canadian Bowler.
Yep.
You can send all the hate mail to him.
Jake just getting wide on that last one, but 2 solid bulls in there. Looks like he's currently holding 2.
Holding a couple.
Yep.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah, that's right. Keith played against you in the 2015 final at, was that Willowdale where the majors are held?
That's right.
In the triples.
He did.
Nice. Roy Reege, Keith Johnson.
It was a good match. Went right to a tiebreaker, so...
down to the wire.
yeah, definitely 2 good teams playing off against each other.
Can't remember who else was with Keith and Roy, but it was you and Mike Wagner and Colin Thompson.
Yep.
I guess there's an easy way for me to check that out. Let's go back to 2015. This is Paul Maskell.
That's right.
Third player.
Kind of wanted to say that, but I didn't want to butcher his name, so...
If you go on the Bowls Canada website and go to Championships and Event Champions, you can see a list of who's won everything going back to 1954, I think. It's a pretty good running tally.
That's right, yeah. It's interesting that Jake decided to throw a really long jack down here, and Carter's nailed it on his first. It's just about a foot and a half short.
Jake's asking if Carter's bowl is jack high, which it is not. It is probably 2 feet short.
Yeah, just about.
That's one thing you start to learn as you become more experienced in the game, is you'll be able to tell the distance between jack and bowl. You don't necessarily need to ask those questions as you get more accustomed and more experienced. You just start to know.
Just a little bit wide on that hanging hand. Carter looking to add that second one in to hold game.
It's nice to be in the driver's seat to know that you're holding game.
It is, and it puts the pressure on the other player to say,
It sure does.
The game could end with this score, so I need to get one in there. It's worth a look on that one.
All of the other games have finished now, except for the green next to us, Michael Fraser and Evan or Ethan Hargreaves. I can never remember.
It's hard to read those first names.
Michael Fraser and Ethan Hargreaves. Michael's up 13-11.
Alright, Drake's trying to reach this. I think he's just come up a little short.
Not quite there.
Alright, Carter's looking to improve this head, make it tougher for Jake to get in there.
Carter's going to need to find a port here now, where Jake's last bowl ended up. Either inside or outside. I think he's chosen the outside path.
He's walking it down. This could be just a nuisance bowl there.
Just squeaked by. That could be maybe third. Tough to tell where Jake's bowl on the left is sitting. One bowl each for these competitors. Do you think Jake will switch back to the ditch side?
I don't know if he will.
Based off of Carter's last bowl there, I don't know.
There's still a line underneath where you could catch the edge of that, one of those yellow bowls and flop in.
Yeah, you could play underneath that.
Could even play on top of one of them, push them in, and sit for second, which isn't a terrible option. But
if you're playing with that kind of weight, you could crash on your own and push that in as well.
Yeah.
He's talking to his coach now.
Depends on how confident he is on playing that. If he really likes that hanging hand, he's got to make sure that he's not playing too far wide out, or he's gonna pass that head right by. So
the way it does cut off, I feel like he could play that hanging hand inside and might get a wick off his front bowl too to straighten it up.
Yeah.
Not that I would ever encourage playing for wicks.
It's all planned out. All right. It's never by accident. At least never tell anybody that.
Oh, he's playing some weight.
All right, he's going for the gold.
And
Just
through it
missed.
all. So I believe that will be
Carter's
the game.
got two. That should be it.
That should do it. And yeah, he's ready to shake hands. Carter's going
Whether he's going to concede two or not, you better take another look.
Yeah, so you got to double check that. Make sure you actually are sitting two.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's the game.
That's the game, folks. To show sportsmanship there, shining it out. Handshake. So one nice thing about bowls, you shake hands before, you shake hands after. You can be friends before and after and kill each other on the greens and still friends in the long run, right?
Leave it on the field.
That's right. And a good show of sportsmanship there from the coaches, shaking each other's hands, saying good game. It's always nice to see it.
So on rink 2, we've got a real barn burner for match between Michael Fraser and Ethan Hargreaves, 13-12 for the Ontarian. These games are certainly going by quickly. They started this one at 12:40. It's now 2:10 right now.
Looks like Hargreaves is shooting 2 shots right now. It's a nice rub in. I don't think Michael liked that one. He kind of turned his back on it.
Michael's playing with orange bowls and Ethan's playing with the brown. Looks like Ethan's laying 2 there, looking to add a third, but I don't think so. I think that's wide and heavy.
Yep. I think on the last one, Michael was trying to push the 2 black bowls out or possibly push his orange in, but got a little wide.
I wonder if orange is his favorite color.
He's wearing a lot of orange. Even his sunglasses are shaded orange. Ripped one down the middle. Just missed.
And as always, if you have any questions or comments, reach out to us on Facebook or Twitter. at BCB Bowls on Twitter, or BCB Official on Facebook.
First ball a little short there.
Michael's drawn around it. Seems to be pretty wide. Good weight though.
Yeah, just hung a little bit. Didn't seem to want to turn much.
I was watching Ethan last night against Braden. Put up a really good fight, but Braden proved to be too much.
Nailed that jack.
Michael gets down so low when he releases the ball.
He does. He has a pretty decent shot here. Just coming up a couple feet short.
I guess John Seitman got to work with Ethan and a few other juniors from Bedford to prepare them for this event. So he's pleased to see him playing so well. I guess I should update the scoreboard here. It is 14-13 for Mr. Hargreaves. Katie Patino just watched Jake from her hometown club and now Michael from her new home club. Loving the live stream.
Oh, Michael Fraser just coming in. Looks like he's holding shot for sure.
Michael Fraser's from the Lindsay Lawn Bowling Club. Ethan Hargreaves is from Bedford.
Now needs to draw the ditch. Can we get a 2? It's definitely good for 2.
Yeah, looks like it. This could be a very back and forth game to the end.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the girls are going to be starting their game here soon. They're kicking in 2. Looking for a third, potentially. I think they just agreed on 2. So make it 15-14 for Mike Fraser. Would you find it tough if there's a long break between games? The way things are set up here, the girls play around, and then the guys play around, and the girls play around, and the guys play around. So you're sitting for however long it takes for the girls to finish. So that could be an hour or 2.
It can be tough. It depends on how long the break is. Sometimes you just need that little extra because you had just had a long, hard, tough game. You need just a little time to recoup. And sometimes you're just in such a roll that you just want to swing right back onto the greens and start playing again because you don't want to lose that rhythm. But you know, the breaks haven't been too bad here. But if it started to stretch over an hour break, yeah, I'd probably get a little antsy. A little bit of a loose head going on here.
There's no shade.
There's absolutely no shade right now.
Still supposed to be 4 more rounds today, so girls match, guys match, girls match, guys match. Barely halfway through the day, and it's 2:15.
Long day.
A long, long day's right.
Looks like Michael drew shot there, but he's still just over 2 feet short.
I made it 2 hours late.
About a yard short. Ethan's going to come down and take a look, see how much room he has to draw. Probably can't see the jack based off of Mike Fraser's last bowl there.
He's going to chat with his coach a little bit, see if there's any suggestions. This is going to be a tight game, 15-14, only a couple points left for each player.
Ethan's just looking to draw a shot here, and he's not a mile away. All in the weight, and I think he's got it.
True shot. Nice ball there.
Beauty bowl. Sure, Michael will be looking to push him through, or draw a shot himself. Looks like he's playing enough weight to push a bowl rather than draw. And he got it.
Nailed it. But
Kicked it over to Ethan, I think.
yeah, I think he's still shot. It's an unfortunate break there, and a pretty good shot right through the head. That looks like it just drew him for 2. Didn't have to draw too close.
And once again, flip-flopping back. Exchanging leads. 16-15 now for Ethan. John Zeitman's excited to be back for marking this afternoon. He's going to be back after work to mark the last 2 games, and he had a good time marking for Carter and Eric's game last night. They had a real good battle. Match that hasn't started yet, which makes me wonder if it'll be on rink 8 or rink 1 or 2. If it's not on 1 or 2, we're not going to be able to stream it.
Let's see what happens.
Ethan's elected to go with a long jack. Mike's looking to follow him down. I think he's a little heavy as well. Just a couple feet through.
A little bit short on that last one.
And this looks like it shot itself.
Okay.
Numero uno. So Ethan's looking for 2 for the win. Mike's looking for 3 for the win. Things get really interesting when it's this tight, because you could give up the game in a single end either way.
That's right. You don't want to make a mistake. You want to give yourself an opportunity to make shot, but you don't want to give away too much. Not this time.
This looks like this could be a tricky rink. It's a bit of a loose head there.
I think Michael's just drawn in for game, so this is a critical shot here.
Mm-hmm. Mike still has one to come as well. Ethan's away. He's crashing and burning. No, through the hole.
Oh.
That could be enough to cut him down, if nothing else.
Michael taking a real quick run down to
Yeah.
take a look.
Taking a sprint down to the other end to see.
Yeah.
Can't wait to find out what the situation is.
He's looking between those 2 back balls, because it looks like it's 2 right now for sure, based on the way he was looking. I think he's still got to try to solidify this just to make sure.
Mm-hmm. He's going to be talking to his coach. Just a quick couple words, let him know. Here's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Just wants to draw down on top of his own, the 2 shots there.
He's throwing it on his forehand again. Looks like he could be close.
It's close.
He's coming up a bit short, I think.
Oh boy.
I don't know if that's close enough.
Might be measured. Let's see what happens here.
And that's the game.
Yeah.
They're shaking hands. They're still looking at it, but so it's interesting that they're measuring after they already shook hands.
Good sportsmanship.
Good
you know.
sportsmanship, I guess. Saying,
Yeah.
"Hey, good bowls." But
Yeah.
yes, that is
There it is. That's the game. Michael Fraser takes it. 18-16.
And since none of the girls' games are on rink 1 or 2, we're not going to be able to stream anything because rink 3 is getting pretty far away. So we're going to take a break. We'll be back to stream 1 more today. After the girls finish, we'll stream the next round of the guys. That might be it for the day. We'll let you know on Facebook or Twitter, so stay tuned to our Facebook and Twitter accounts. We'll see you in probably an hour and a half, give or take, depending on how long the girls take. Thanks for watching.